Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geeks. My name is Phil and I'm joined as always by my co-host Daz. Daz, what's the crack?
All things good, man. Just finishing up for my daughter's 5th birthday party, so full of cake and more cake. So kind of buzzing and really excited about our movie this week. How are things with you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I'm also quite excited to get through to get into this week's movie because it's way more than what I expected and what I imagine what most people will have expected. For those of you at home, we are primarily a movie review podcast, but we'll kick off with a bit of geeky news and what we've been getting into over the past week, and maybe you might pick up a recommendation or two yourself. So, Daz, with that said, what has popped out for you in the news this week?
It's got to be like on the trailer front. It was Fantastic Four, new trailer, proper trailer after the teaser like a month or so ago. And this trailer gives us a lot more of the story elements and the kind of vibe. Yeah. And surprisingly, it's far more serious than the teaser kind of set it out to be. It's nice. You obviously get more story, and it's like you get a good sense of Fantastic Four, the family, and Marvel's first family, and all that stuff is really nice. But then you got a first look at the Silver Surfer, which I thought was fantastic. And
that looks amazing. Yeah.
And a lot of people online, well, a lot of people, probably like 4 people, don't think she looks very good at all. There's a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, well, some of the usual suspects are complaining. One of them literally said, and this is one of the bigger channels, literally said they have ruined Fantastic Four by making female Silver Surfers. Seriously, she looks comics. Fucking awesome. Yeah, and she looks fucking badass as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. That's going to be. I'm actually excited for the super comic book fucking hero movies this year. With that, and looking forward to Thunderbolts, which also got a new trailer, and then Superman as well. So it's hopefully just give it even one of those is a banger. I'll be delighted.
Yeah, and then like James Gunn, like he's drip feeding us fucking new content. It's unbelievable. But like we got a behind the scenes kind of featurette. You see something. Oh, it was Superman Day like a couple of days ago, and I thought like everyone was kind of going right. Okay, Fantastic Four trailer was coming out, and that's coming out 2 weeks after Superman. So everyone was saying, Superman Day, drop a fucking trailer, give us fucking 3 minutes or something, just show them fucking flying, please. But we got a behind-the-scenes featurette kind of, saying all the things we want to hear, giving a good sense of the vibe of the character and hope, and he's a beautiful fucking character and all this stuff, and good feels, and showcasing that, like, they get the character, and it's like, it's all this building up to something.
Yeah.
But it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, give us a new trailer. Give us something we need to hear. I just want to know just a little bit more about the story or whatever, but I just want to see, because in the teaser we got that cool shot where he's saving a little girl. I just know James Gunn has about fucking 10 or 15 in this movie. Just give us one more. And I just want to see him flying as well. But it's, the anticipation superhero-wise is like those 3 movies. Super hyped for them. Absolutely fucking can't wait. Like the Thunderbolts trailer was excellent. Like, and this could be a case of the trailers are better than the movie, and if it is that case, fair enough. But the trailers have been excellent. Like great music choices, great sense of like they're really tackling the theme that everyone seems to give out about. Like they're like, what the fuck are these guys? They're like the B-list Avengers, and the whole movie is like that's the whole fucking point. Like they are,
and not just that. Like they've pitched them like if it is them against the Void, part of the Sentry. Like he's one of the most powerful superheroes. So it's going to be so interesting to see how they actually take him down. So they, as you said, they make it like we all just basically punch and kick stuff. None of us can fly. So I think the trailers look cool. Looks funny. It's like it does have the. It does have the possibly could be a dud, and we're getting getting the good stuff in the trailer. But from what I've seen so far, I am optimistic. For sure,
yeah, big time.
I also wanted to mention that the OG creators from Tremors, the original Tremors movie. Did you watch that back in?
Oh wow, yes,
yeah. So they've gotten the script back.
Films.
Yeah, I think isn't it something like they have it for whatever the studio had it for like whatever 30 something years, whatever. But they haven't made anything with it in ages. Just been a couple. There was like a series and loads of spin-off
sequels and spin-offs
that were mostly shit.
They just did. It was tried and tested. Did the same fucking thing again. It's just like, oh my god, like that's such a cult classic.
I think they're looking at kind of a sequel to the second one, so Return to Perfection sequel, and then they also said they have some other outlandish ideas. And Kevin Bacon wants to return, and they're sort of looking at ideas of how to get him back for it.
Music to my ears.
Isn't that amazing? The original writers, fucking Kevin Bacon back in the saddle, man. I would
Kevin Bacon would do that for fucking $5. Like,
I'm all over that. If that gets made, it was such a fun movie.
It's wonderful.
And then the last one is just our usual weekly check in on what's going on with Minecraft the movie. This one's pretty grim. I don't think they're dead, but 2 people were stabbed following an altercation at a showing of this. So yeah, like, I mean, you see all the showings. I've seen loads of different things online, like the one post was from like an Odeon or an AMC cinema or whatever it is, and they had for the staff a rough time of when the chicken jockey thing popped up. Wow. So they know when to have their pip to pop in to make sure and tell people to calm the fuck down and stuff. But two people were stabbed. I think it was in New England somewhere, and 2 people got stabbed. Yeah, someone had asked someone to quiet the fuck down, obviously, because stop shouting throughout the movie I'm trying to watch. And it escalated, kicked off, someone got stabbed, which is fucking nuts.
That's fucking bananas. Like, I really wish I was in an IMAX screening for that, a packed IMAX, to see this fucking furore that's happening. Like, I don't know, is it just something in the States?
Like I said, they were all shouting, like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what, in my cinema? But basically they all just shouted in unison, but it didn't just happen for the chicken jockey, it happened another time as well. But it was just kids, they just said it, everybody had a bit of a giggle, and then it just stopped, back to being, for a cinema that was packed full of kids, they were all very respectful. Apart from one part, which I didn't mention in our review, there was like a really quiet moment, and it's between the brother and the sister, and it's just a moment of thing where she's saying that they're proud of each other or whatever, and all you hear from the back is some little scanger teenager going, "Stick it in." It's like, for fuck's sake, would you fucking grow up? The bleeding place is full of kids, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's mad. It's still making it's bomb. It's making an absolute fortune, which of course we knew it was going to. So I'm sure we'll be hearing more about sequels in the coming weeks and months.
And I've told my daughter for her birthday week that I'd take her to the cinema, and I've been I delayed it a week up next week because she's off for Easter break, and I was just scouring the internet, looking for it. Please have something on, anything else, anything. It's just fucking nothing. So I think I might have to take her next Wednesday to Minecraft. So we'll see if
God have mercy on your soul. Right, well, look, with the news out of the way, let's jump on to what we've been playing and watching. My part of this is fuck all. So I've only I tried to watch Yellow Jackets because I know that it's finished a while now. I was like, right, I'm going to watch full season 3 in one go, pretty much, and because it's been pissing rain, there's nothing else to fucking do. But then once it started, I was like, fuck man, I barely even remember season 2, so I have to go back and watch season 2 again. And I've just been playing the usual games. I haven't touched anything new, so nothing from me this week. What about yourself?
Jesus, I mean, it's like our weekly thing now is going to be The Last of Us, which is on again tomorrow.
Oh shit, I did watch that. Yeah, fuck. Which is wild. It's getting review bombed, unfortunately. Which is a pity. But I really enjoyed it. Some of the stuff is very close, very close to the game, and then some new stuff, and it introduced Abby and her crew in a different way and stuff. But I thought it was great. I thought it's a good way to kick off the season and introduce you to some new characters. Always happy to see Catherine O'Hara and something.
Yeah, she's great.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I watched it with Ali, and it's another one of these where you're kind of, from my point of view, we're sitting there together, but watching it in two different viewpoints completely. Yeah, I'm kind of going, how far are they going to progress the story? And you can see how, as you're saying, how much some of it is very similar to early parts of the second game. And then I'm kind of going, okay, is episode 2 going to be a big episode or 3? And it was ticking all the boxes, and I thought Dina was great. She's kind of a little bit different than the TV show, but I don't really care. Some people hold on to that. I see some reviews that are like, oh, it's not the Dina I know from the game. And it's like, oh, fuck off. It's a different thing. It's playing to it's a different medium altogether. So I was enjoying that. And then Ali said, she was like, yeah, no, kind of like that, but I wasn't blown away by that or whatever. I guess she didn't know what she was expecting, but it's setting things up But it'll be interesting to see how the series goes, because I know some people online that have seen, I think it's a seven episode season, and they've seen the whole thing, and they have said that they imagined it would be really different from people who played the game to people who haven't. Maybe the opposite way, where people who haven't played the game, the opposite to the first season, where if you play the game, you're just watching it again almost, where other people who are new to it got something completely different. So I'm happy
to get something different as well. Like I mean, I think the people who are saying, that's not like the Dina from the game, then just play the game then. And if that's what you want, if you want the exact everything you want, that's why people weren't happy with what's her face playing Ellie, Bella Ramsey, and then making fun of her and showing pictures of her face and saying she's unattractive. So
look like
you were attracted to the child, because Ellie is a child in the game. She's you know what I mean. So you're attracted to the 14-year-old in the game, and this one isn't living up to the looks. That's what you're saying, you creepy fuck. So like, I'm sorry, I have to disregard most people's opinion when it comes to they're bitching about this show, unless it's something genuine, like about the performances and stuff. If there's something there, fine. But it's all coming from personal issues with it, which is not a proper critique of it. Like, I mean, it's same with Abby, and it's like, where in the game she's bigger and she's muscled up and all that stuff, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're comparing that to a fucking game, and these are the same people that gave out essentially about season 1 being not so much uninteresting, but nothing new apart from episode 3, where if you did play the game, like, the game is so cinematic when you're watching back at the show. A lot of it from us gamers is more that we're happy that it stuck the landing and it wasn't shit, same with kind of Fallout. But season 1, you're essentially watching a lot of the game you played, but just in filmic form, and that was fine by me. But in this, I don't mind them going off fucking script and splitting season 2 up into, the second game up into 2 seasons and mixing around. Once they hit the main story points and story beats, but how they get there, I couldn't give a shit. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised rather than just ticking boxes watching it as a gamer. We've heard Eugene get mentioned already, as obviously he must be Captain O'Hara's husband. So it's great, because we know you only hear about him in the game, you don't meet him. So the fact that we're going to get an episode of him, I assume it's going to be him and what happens between Joel and him and all that shit. So that's going to be great. I love that. I was mad about episode 3 of the first season's one, with Bill and stuff. So
the best episodes of TV, like
incredible. Yeah. So that's all from me. Did you get into anything new this week apart from that?
Just playing more Blueprints, which is just taking over my entire life gaming wise, to the point where I'm just going through run after run after run and just getting so fucking close to opening a new. I can't really talk about fucking spoilers with it, but it's just. It's there's not much to tell about it story wise, because I'm more confused than when I started. And when I started, what the fuck is going on? But that game is phenomenal. So that would probably be my next few weeks. 30-second roundup of gaming. I can't tell you anything about the game, but it was just Last of Us and nothing else. I really need to pick up I'm already thinking about our year fucking review. Kind of going, I need to fucking watch 5 series, I'm slow.
Well, luckily with the Switch coming out, I definitely won't be short of games come the end of the year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well then let's get on to our main event. I didn't mention it at the start of the show, but this week's movie is Sinners, by Ryan Coogler, and Daz is going to take us through that. So, Daz, whenever you're ready, let's go.
We've been gone a long time. We back now. You twins? Nah, we cousins.
There are legends of people with the gift of making music so true. It can conjure spirits from the past.
Well, somebody take me in your eyes.
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
Listen here. This ain't no house party. Y'all ready to drink? Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stink?
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
Super duper. Yeah, this week's movie is Sinners, written and directed by Ryan Coogler. This is his 5th movie, and I think I've enjoyed all of them to a certain extent, bar Wakanda
Forever.
Yeah, it was a bit of a misfire. But this is like his first movie that's not based on existing characters or a true story. And it stars Michael B.Jordan in dual roles. Haley Steinfeld, Miles Catton, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Mosaka, which is a fucking amazing name. She's amazing. And Delroy Lindo, who almost steals every scene he's fucking in. So yeah, what we normally do is we get kind of stuck into a spoiler-free section. It might be difficult enough in this, but we'll tackle all aspects of the movie, and then we'll go balls deep into a spoiler section, which will be very, very interesting. So we'll set the scene then for the movie first. Set in 1932 in Mississippi, and Michael B. Jordan, stars in dual roles as twin brothers who return to their hometown to kind of start again and try to set up a juke joint, like a musical haven for their community. And they enlist a number of people to help them in their venture, and then only to be confronted by a supernatural evil. And the movie essentially takes place during one hell of a long and crazy fucking day. It's essentially, it's a period piece, Prohibition era, underground crime elements with racial kind of subtext that celebrates music and blues and the connection of music and blues to the area and to music of, the time, and vampire lore, because it features vampires and it seems to blend vampires and music seamlessly and everything else. And I thought it was fucking tremendous. What were your thoughts coming out of the cinema?
Yeah, no, I think, like you said, I think the trailers would have painted this as a much shallower movie than it actually is. Like, if you were looking at just the trailers, you're thinking this is From Dusk Till Dawn, but in the 30s. Yeah. That's what, because it all looks like it is loads and loads of action. But some of the stuff is, you're not seeing it away at the end. The whole part, the start of it, it's all about oppression and the blues and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, like, I was in love with this movie from minute one. Like, the cinematography is incredible. The cinematographer, Autumn Arkapaw, she worked on Loki as well. And it's obviously, you've heard me harp on about Loki before plenty of times. I thought the job she did was incredible. The music in this movie is absolutely, there's this, what it reminded me of is, like, do you know when you've seen It's All Gone Pete Tong? Yeah. And Max, the manager, is trying to explain to him what the music like. Because it gets inside you and it's like, you can't even describe it. That's what it was like. I was in the movie and I was having like a fucking, like a religious experience with this fucking, like, it was just incredible. That one big scene, there's a couple of scenes of musical scenes in it, but the one inside the juke joint and the camera work is incredible, and the music is just, it's one of my favorite scenes from a movie that I've seen. I don't know how long. It's absolutely incredible. I can't harp on about it enough. Like, my mind was blown watching that scene alone. I was like, this is just incredible filmmaking. Like, especially because the last movie I saw of his, like you, was his last one, which was Wakanda Forever, which I was not a fan of. So yeah, this was. Yeah, it was great. And the performances by pretty much everybody involved. Michael B. Jordan, obviously. But it was just, an absolute joy to watch. Really, really was.
Oh, that's amazing. This movie it's just fantastic. Like, I love everything you're saying there. It's like fucking mirror copy of that. Like, I just, like, there was moments of this where I'm just going, this is masterful filmmaking, and hands down, like, will become a classic of the genre. But then it's just like, what genre like is it? Because there are moments in it that
I sure text you when I get out of the
fucking thing. It's
just
like,
I text you when I get out of the movie to say this is two different movies and they're both fantastic.
which is fucking brilliant. It's like it's just like the fact that Coogler merges like the excitement of a genre vampire pick and does that really fucking well with thrills galore and like gore and fucking ticking every box possible, but also subverting the genre with adding a couple of different things and music playing a massive part. Like, music is a fucking character in this movie, and not even a side character. It's a main character. It's unbelievable what you said about that. Like, that the scene, like, I was if I was in an empty cinema, I would have stood up and fucking applauded or just went, whoa! It's one of the greatest scenes I think I've ever seen, and it's 100% one of the best scenes I've seen in the cinema. The cinemas, like I saw in IMAX, and I hadn't been in IMAX for quite well. Last one was fucking with Jack Black, so this was much better than that one. But yeah, it was only a third full or whatever, but you could sense people were just going walking like this is phenomenal. And it's a scene that it just showcased like its music and everything, blah blah blah. But it showcased like for me, it's just like the power of fucking cinema. I was just going, oh my god, the hairs on my arms, the hairs at the back of my neck. I was just going, and it's one of those scenes that that made me think of seeing like the fucking, No Time for Caution scene in Interstellar, or the hallway shootout in The Matrix. When you're watching that scene, you're going, this is fucking brilliant. But knowing that I want to come back to see this movie at least seven times for that fucking scene, just that scene. And it's not what you would think if you said that to somebody about, the movie after seeing the trailer. What's the best scene? You're just like, oh, is it a vampire kill or this? Like, no. It's just a musical fucking hootenanny, mad fucking crazy scene.
Yeah.
That just blew my fucking mind. Yeah, holy shit!
And I love the whole premise behind it. It's excellent. That's all about the roots of blues and the roots of music in general, and how it's evolved and what it was in the past and what it turns into in the future. And they really touch on that the whole way through, and how it is in different cultures. Like they talk about the Irish, and then they talk about the Africans, all these different different cultures which all have that same thing, the music, and the certain music that can almost break the gap between, it really was just an absolute wonderful experience to go and see it. And I didn't realize how much of it, how deep it was going to be. Miles Caton, revelation.
Yeah, this is his first role.
Yeah.
So holy shit.
He's a musician as well. Like obviously. But his speaking voice is captivating. He's got such a deep voice for this kind of smaller looking dude.
When he breaks into song at one point,
his singing voice, man. Wow. Oh, like I'm sure that's like Michael B.Jordan's reaction was probably his real reaction. You see the kind of what the fuck? It's absolutely incredible. His singing voice is unreal. He's amazing on the guitar. He was brilliant. I thought he was fantastic. There's not really anybody in this where I went, nah, they're not really fitting in. Everybody was great. The what's her face? The one who played Grace. I thought she was an absolute badass. Is it Lee Jun Lee? She plays the one who owns the thing. I only know her from like the Exorcist TV show, so it was good for me to see her in something else again. But I thought she was fucking tough as nails and awesome. Oh, it's just I'm over the moon with how good this is. I was saying that I think that Nosferatu was going to end up being in my my favorite movie at the end of the year, but it looks like a different vampire flick might be just taking its spot, because it's incredible movie.
But after watching Mickey 17 and Robert Pattinson and what's kind of gushing over these actors playing dual roles and how seamless the cinematography is around these things now, where you just believe it. And with Mickey 17, it was excellently done. But there was obviously, there's a look between the characters. You could see, obviously one had 18 on his back, one had 17 on his back. So it's just visual cues which character you're looking at this point. But in this, because they're identical twins, obviously identical twins, but it's not like, oh, one has long hair and a different beard or whatever. They're pretty much identical. They dress the same, everything. And it's just the subtle and the nuances in Michael B. Jordan's performance for each is fucking incredible. It's not like as one is kind of a bit looser, a bit brash, bit whatever, and the other guy is a bit more straight-laced and a bit more kind of serious, and you understand why when you see their histories and their some of their kind of relationships status and stuff like that. But he's like, there are moments in it, like after I think the first scene when you think you see it in the trailer, where two of them are standing by a car and they pass each other a cigarette.
Passing the smoke.
They just pass a cigarette, and it's just one of those. You're just like, oh my god! And that's the one point. It's almost like he put it there to show, look, this is you get it. We put them in the same scene. They pass each other a cigarette. It's movie fucking magic. Blah blah blah. After that, there was no more. Wow, how did they do this? Whatever, because it's just you're just off. and you believe that they exist in the same scene because you believe that they're two fucking different characters. And he's astonishing in this, but he's at such a high bar where he's so imposing, he's so charismatic and powerful on screen. He just eats up the screen. Like we've said this before with some actors, he doesn't have to say anything. He just has a look, and for someone so young to have that, he's just like, there's Biff in the trailer where he's just like, what people respect or whatever, what I've seen is like, that's power. I mean, the way he says it, it's just like, whoa, fuck yeah, I believe you, man.
I think he's one of those actors. You have actors that there's certain directors know them inside out and can get the absolute best of them, and he's worked with them so many times now
from the start of his career.
Yeah. Let's you look at say Christoph Waltz, both Oscars, both Tarantino things. I think there's certain actors who always work 100%. With always certain work, DiCaprio and Scorsese or whoever it happens to be. There's certain actors who they just work as like a twosome almost. You know exactly what to get at them, and it feels like that's some of his best performances in Creed and Jesus Black Panther. He's probably the best bad guy that's been in besides Thanos in the MCU. As Killmonger, he was incredible. I just think they obviously have it. They know what each other want. But I thought he was fantastic, and like that, it's almost like that scene of them near the start with the past and the smoke and stuff. It's almost like they're going into your consciousness and saying, like without you knowing, saying, look, it's two different people, because that's on, like you said, that's all you need. Then you're not going to go and I was straight into it being two different dudes. And they dress slightly differently, and it's the nuances with the way he talks. There's a slight difference in the accent and some of the words that they use. Like it's fantastic acting, really is.
Because I guess it's probably easier to play. If one guy's the fucking normal guy, and one guy, if you're playing a crazy guy like Michael Keaton in Multiplicity or something, it's just like he's playing 40 people, but they're all so drastically fucking chaotic from each other, or different from each other. Where this is, it's really something you get a sense that there are just turning points in their upbringing that have just sprouted different characteristics and stuff. And I just thought he was amazing to the point where it's I don't know if it's expected of him or you just kind of go, you're just brilliant. I just think you're a fucking brilliant actor. And as I think Ali said, like she's dying to see this movie because she said an interesting point. She's like, I just don't think he picks bad movies. He's that kind of guy where he just picks something that would challenge him. And obviously working with Ryan Coogler is working well for him. But yeah, normally we would obviously just go to, cinematography, whatever. Music would probably be, down the list, and not down the list for us personally, but down the list, and we talk about the score. But instead of going from cinematography, I'm just going to go straight to the score. And Ludwig's score and the music in this movie is it's unbelievable. It's more often than not, it's something from Hans Zimmer after seeing, something boombastic and something crazy like a Man of Steel score, or fucking back in Gladiator or whatever, where music really comes to the forefront to elevate scenes, or just you really notice it. And this is one of those where I've just gone, this score, I will listen to this score and have listened to the score on YouTube forever. It's fucking unbelievable. It's the score obviously is one thing, but then the musical pieces, and we won't get into too much spoilers. We've talked about that amazing scene, but there's like a fucking Irish little fucking jig and song.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Irish to get
and it's the most unexpected scene when you see it, and straight away you're going, this is the two best scenes in this movie are two little musical scenes that are just wow. And like Jack O'Connell, who he had done Irish dancing like back in, because his dad is Irish, like, so he. The accent he's throwing on is kind of pretending to be this, whether, as you've seen him in the trailer as the bad guy, but he's, he's an Irish immigrant, and there's a lot of talk about, not just people pout, not just racism and stuff, and the slavery that was in America, but also then how immigrants were treated as well. And it's the music part of it comes in. I wasn't expecting to be so Irish, but it really is. He has a proper Irish brogue on him when he's singing. There's the fiddles and everything that come out. It's just, I think that it's just works so well, because you wouldn't think so. A movie that's mostly blues and all about the blues, and then all of a sudden we're talking fucking
Long Road to Dublin kind of thing. Like, oh, holy fuck! Like it's
just so good.
but it works perfectly. And I loved his performance as well. Like because he's playing the honest good guy, but super sinister as well. And I love that.
But the fact that they play that where it is, and you see it in the trailer that they are mild mannered when they're not trying to rip out your fucking throat or neck or something like that. But I thought that would be something in the trailer, just going, oh, is this just somebody being charismatic before? But they fully go into that when you see them before they turn and maybe try and do nasty things, that they do talk nicely and sing lovely songs, and they're in touch with music as much as the people they're trying to devour. That was such a surprise and such a, I don't know even if it's bold, it's just like I hadn't seen that before. And it just, I'm delighted that wasn't in the trailers as much. That it wasn't given away too much, but
even I don't think we've given much away from here because we're really tiptoeing around it. You know what I mean? Like these scenes have to be seen by and heard by yourself. I definitely don't want to over explain either of those scenes and any of the musical kind of scenes. Just take them away. But it's throughout it. The music is just completely sucked in. I've watched a bunch of the YouTube videos as well. There's one great one where they must have been doing some sort of pre or press tour for it or something, and it's Ludwig and Miles are both just sitting on high chairs, and there's like a room full of people, and they're both playing guitar, and then fucking Miles starts singing, and it's just. There's only a small little video on YouTube. Fucking hell, his voice is just, it's hard to, it's so unexpected. The minute he opens it out and starts singing, like, whoa, fucking hell, I hope we get to see more of that. Like,
fucking, absolutely. And it's a funny thing talking about the trailer, because I saw some reviews online that have danced around the whole, like we're saying, like we've seen the trailers, and if they put stuff in the trailer, whether it's too much or too little, vampires are mentioned in the trailer. In the first trailer, which maybe not the first teaser, but the first actual trailer, they do skirt around it a little bit, and it's kind of like, oh, something is amiss or whatever. But the second trailer, I watched it back afterwards, and I think I'd only watched the trailer maybe once or twice or something like that, and I was so engrossed in the movie that I wasn't thinking of, sometimes you see a trailer too many times and you're waiting for that shot in the movie, and it's kind of ruins it. But I was so engrossed in this, that wasn't the case. But when I watched the trailer back, they skirt around things, but they do give away way too much for the last act of the movie. So if you haven't watched the movie, don't watch the second trailer and just go in and fucking watch it. But yes, spoiler, there are vampires in it.
But I mean, the thing is, it's getting described everywhere as the thing. You see the review and it's like Ryan Coogler's vampire flick. So they're saying it everywhere. So I mean, if you're trying, if that you can't really complain if that part was being spoiled for absolutely. You. But what did you think budget wise? Like it cost $90 million to make it, and I think on Friday alone, on Good Friday, they'd made $19 million. And probably will make about 40-45 over this Easter weekend. But like for I mean that's a pretty decent return when you consider, like you said, not a lot of people know exactly what type of flick this is. Are they going into it thinking it's just a straight up vampire from Dusk Till Dawn type? Like, hang on a second, this is 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It can't be that kind of movie.
That is the thing when you worry about, like, there could be two different sides of word of mouth where people go in kind of going, hey, it's Ryan Coogler, Michael B.Jordan, and
they want a mindless action.
They go in and they kind of go, oh, it's a fucking vampire movie, and then for the first 70-80 minutes, you're kind of going, okay, yeah, there's no vampires. It's a period piece, fucking drama for the most part, like a musical drama, and in that aspect, you could see people. I've seen some user reviews online. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's fucking 98% or whatever, which makes sense. I'm not sure the audience score, but definitely people have seen online.
Oh, it's right up there as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I've seen people kind of going, yeah, oh, Jesus, it's a fucking slow burn. They're kind of going, it's a slow burn to get to the vampire movie you thought you were getting. That's just, you went in expecting something different. And I was thoroughly fucking pleased when I went in and realized that it was taken, and you would say like it's two different movies, and I had a sense of that from the trailer, that there wasn't that much vampire action in it, and it's not going to go straight into it because it's just a vampire movie set in 1932 about two brothers, starting a fucking juke joint, kind of going, pretty sure it's going to be a slow burn into this, and then things will collide and shit will fucking happen. But I just I can't get over how fucking great this movie is. But like, let's get into cinematography, because some of the fucking shots in this.
Yeah, what a job she did, man. It's outrageous. And I think she's worked with him a bunch of times as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's incredible. It really is.
Like she will be, like she's working with Ryan Coogler, you know, before, and she's done some great movies, and she's done some movies like on 60mm and stuff. She messes around with formats a lot. But this will catapult her into A-list fucking cinematography territory instantaneously. Some of the shots just of a fucking just cotton field. You're just going, oh my fucking God. Like, if just give me that printout, I will hang that on my wall for the rest of my fucking days.
Might be problematic, but yeah, all right.
With me, a thumbs up in the corner, you know. But yeah, it just looked fantastic. But like, there's been a lot of talk as well about Sinners being the first movie to be shot simultaneously on Ultra Panasonic 70 and IMAX 65 film cameras, which, as Coogler says, you know, has significant implications on how the movie is shown in theaters and how you will see it, depending on where you see it. Like, Panavision 70 is like a 276-1 ratio, which is like one of the widest formats in cinema, like huge bars at the top and bottom. You know, regular movies are 240-1, 239, 240-1. On the other hand, IMAX has a taller image area, obviously, with a ratio of like 143-1. So if you have the chance to see it in IMAX, the change is drastic when it switches from camera to camera and stock to stock. It's very powerful for a few scenes, like the music scene we mentioned. For some scenes, the extra screen real estate is just occupying kind of negative space. You know, it's like you get a lovely image, but you're just getting more of the sky. And it's cool, but for some scenes, it just seems a bit unnecessary and a little bit jarring. And of course, you really can't fill that extra screen space with anything important, because regular cinema goers won't see that area of the screen or won't see that part of the movie. So these formats are tricky, and especially when the cinema screens are not uniform.
Yeah.
But the musical sequence we talked about, that's when it kicks into that frame, and fuck me, so it is a kind of a jolt of like, whoa, here we go, and it's just the whole frame. It's just, and it's all that fucking lovely interior kind of orange tungsten glow. It's just phenomenal. But
and it's the change throughout the. I mean, obviously don't want to spoil anything, but obviously it's the change of like the score to go along with that is just absolutely perfect. You know, it's almost the music is moving with the camera, because you know it's changing around the room, and we're seeing other characters come into it, and it's masterfully done. And some of the nighttime shots, like the nighttime shots around there, because it's like in Bayou kind of territory, and just some of those things out in the water and the moon, everything is lit. And when it's fucking black, like dark black, it's pitch black. Yeah. And it
looked crisp though. I saw some online saying they watched it and they had a hard time making things out in the nighttime scenes, and I was just like, dude, just go to a better fucking cinema, man. I don't know what, but like everything was dark, but it was crisp as fuck. It was just like, oh my God, you could just see everything. It's just, and the fact that like, it's not really a spoiler to say that it takes place pretty much over a day, but you get so many amazing shots of like how long it takes to shoot at golden hour, when you've got like an hour of a window of filming, maybe 40 minutes, and like you're there for fucking weeks just trying to get more and more of these things. And some of the shots, like from the morning to the afternoon, you get that fucking gorgeous golden hour, and then some of the nighttime stuff towards the end, especially when you've got flames and stuff happening. It just it ticked every box, and she is Christ, she's one to fucking watch. Script wise, I mean, it's hard really to kind of go into it. We'll get into it a bit more in spoilers, but it talks about the script is great. There's so many lovely scenes between characters, especially the two main dual roles.
And their love interests.
Love interests in the characters, and then the script and the dialogue between them is lovely, and it's poignant, and it's just really good. Were there any negatives for you then? No, non-spoilery, but
like I don't think so. Like I maybe a little bit in the mid-credit stinger, but only a little bit. That was still great, but for the most part, no, I was just delighted. Like I really was. I was just walking into the cinema going, yes, this is pretty much exactly what I'm delighted with how this wasn't what I thought it was going to be, which was something a lot shallower. Because that could have been for Ryan Coogler after, because Wakanda Forever didn't do very well, and so it could have been easy for him to go down that route of just taking a slam home script from somebody else, or from making just the vampire movie that is going to hit home. This is fucking brave, genre mixing, wonderful, wonderful movie making, and I'm here for it, man. I can't really think of any negatives off the top of my head. Yeah. What about you?
Not too many. I mean, like, we'll get into it. There's character choice that, kind of doesn't sit too well with me from later on. And I guess it's kind of when it goes full, what the trailer suggests, the vampire bit in the end, it's not as good as I think what preceded it, but then what preceded it is so fucking good that like that last 15-20 minutes was just really good instead of mind-blowingly good. So that's not really a negative at all. But yeah, I guess we'll get into it. Kind of there is a post-credit scene, and I think that could have been integrated into the movie in some way, or it seemed, because it's not just like if you leave straight away after the credits, don't do that, because there's something that really adds a good bit to the story.
And the end as well. There's a post credits as well.
Yeah. I don't know. After the whole credits, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. There we go. We'll get into that in the spoiler. But that kind of, it's not the type of movie to be hiding really cool and not so much important to this story, but it's just important to the characters. And if you really want to showcase, because they're quite lengthy. Well, the mid one is quite lengthy. But yeah, apart from that, it's just ticked every fucking box for me. It's just like everything on screen, from the directing, writing, acting, score, script, cinematography, fucking set design. Set design is a scene in this where the Asian lady, when she leaves her house or leaves her shop, and it's a single take, and just
follows her
across the set over into another shop, and you're just going, oh, they built the fucking town, and it's just. Yeah, it's just nice to see that people shy away from that in movies now, because it's all digital sets and you can't really do that. And that was just simple thing, and it made sense in the story and the pacing. It wasn't a showcase. Oh, look, we built a set, but it just, that kind of stuff was just like, oh, this is fucking cool. The gore, when it happens, it cuts and whatever, all this looked brilliant. Everything looks practical. Even the stuff that is CG looks practical, which is I imagine that's a good chunk of the 90 million is making it all look like it was done right there and then. Let's get on to scores before time to get into some spoilers. So, scores, what would you give it?
I'd go 4.5. I'm absolutely in love with this movie. I really am. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think I've only given that maybe to one other movie, but I was mesmerized and I wanted to go and see it straight away. I just couldn't fit the time in to go and see it again, but I will definitely. I have this week off. So coming up, nice. So yeah, I'm like a child off school. I have a week off, so I will definitely be going to see this again during the week. I'm going to try and see if I can squeeze a double feature in and catch Warfare as well.
Not tempted by Minecraft season or second scrending.
No. I'm not going to wait until that comes out on home video so I can watch it on repeat. What about you? What kind of score are you going to give this one?
4.5. If I could give 4.75, I would give 4.75. But I probably should be giving a 5 because I gave Nosferatu 5. But 4.5 because this is absolutely, it's just fantastic. I just loved it. I really want to see it again as soon as possible. So fucking go see it. And if you have seen it, well then stick around, because we would just be chatting through some of the bits and bobs in our spoiler section. So spoilers.
So spoilers. Because of the length of the movie, and we have given a good bit of time to the spoiler-free section. Do you want to just talk, like, kind of get your favorite parts? I mean, because basically we can just say it goes from this these two guys, and as you said, they've kind of were in Chicago. They left Chicago, but I suppose maybe just jump into our favorite parts, because talking through a 2.5 hour movie now in 20 minutes is going to be too much. So
yeah, my favorite part is it's the two musical parts, obviously, but it's the Irish jig thing mostly, because I just loved how long they stayed with that, and the fact that he started dancing and all that stuff, and it's the bit outside. Like, to sum it up, yeah, like they set up a juke joint, they got all their mates to come around, or like that they used to know, and say, right, we want you to do the door, and you got to do the food and whatever, and they're just setting this thing up, and it's in one day, so that night is their launch, and they're not postponing it. They want to get it done that night, so they get everyone around. And it's kind of like they know they can just get a load of people, just fucking get the music, get the food, get everything ready, and get a load of people in, and they have a load of liquor because they stole some shit from some gangsters or whatever. When everything happens and these fucking vampire guys come, when they started arriving and when they walked up to the door and they weren't allowed in, that was probably my favorite part, where it's just like, oh, please let us in. And it's such a nice conversation they have, just like, oh, please, come on, just, blah, blah, we have coin to spend or whatever, and something seems off, so they kind of go, okay, thanks, we'll just walk away slowly in case you change your mind. And he's so charismatic and so fucking cool, but not with a wink to the camera or kind of a sinister undertone. He is just, we know he's fucking vampire and an absolute sinister fucker, but it's just like this, so charming or whatever, and they go off. And later on when Haley goes out to see them, and they're just singing away, the three of them, you can hear them in the distance.
Oh, and it's beautiful.
And that scene is like, this is brilliant. Like,
for the summer time has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, the wild mountain thyme grows around the river.
yeah,
I didn't see vampires singing is my favorite part of this movie. Vampires and music, and the merge and the blend of that is something that I never would have thought would work in a million years.
yeah, no, exactly. And as I said, at that point, it took me a second or two to get it, because obviously vampires have to be invited in, well, depending on whatever lore you're working off.
Yeah.
But that was it. Yeah, they come to the door, and he's just so he doesn't lose his temper, because he could easily lose it and go, okay, fine, you can't stay in there forever, or something along those lines, or I'll get in somehow. It's just him and the couple that he's, because I think we get to see that part where we first see him for the first time. There's a bunch of fucking vampire hunting Native Americans. Yeah. I'll watch a spin-off. I'll 100% watch a spin-off of vampire hunting Native Americans. Sign me up. Yeah. But when they're out looking for him,
throwaway scene, it's just like, oh my god! Like, and they know the sun is coming up, and they're like, okay, are you like, is the vampire, like, or not the vampire, but is that guy in your house to the husband and wife? And they're like, no. And just like, are you hiding him? Really, like, time is of the essence because the sun's coming up. And then they go, actually, fuck it, like, we're off. You're on your own. And that's it. Just like, okay, so there are vampire hunters here. They're like this. There's so much just touched on lore-wise, narrative-wise of a bigger world. And it's like,
I actually love that part of how they're integrated. Like, a lot of vampire ones, the main vampire, you kill him, all his underlings die. You know what I mean? Or when he bites them, he gets their memory and stuff. But in this, it's a hive mind. Like, once you're linked into it, okay, he can die, you can still stay alive. But if you're in there, now if someone else gets bitten, now you've got their memories. Doesn't matter who you are in the group, they're all, and that's why the singing and dances in unison, and it's all Irish because it's coming from him. He's the Irish, he's the Irish immigrant, and that's when they first show up to the door and they're fucking playing fiddles and stuff. You're wondering, could they play them before, or is this from him? And he's just talking away nice as Larry as they're singing. He's plucking away in the banjo, and it's. And of course he plays a guitarist, but he learned to play the banjo for this role. It's perfect. And I love the way they handled it that way, because then they bring it into conversation. I know what you're thinking. I know what happened because now I've got so-and-so's thoughts. And it's really,
that
really
part
cool.
Is fantastic where you see it. Where it is like, you can play the banjo now. I bite you now. We all can fucking play the banjo. We all share the pain. We share the, like, the fact that they talk about, of the racial subtext. Well, it's not even subtext, but it's, it's fucking 1930s South. And the fact that they're also talking, but it's not just you, like we're immigrants and stuff, and it's everything, and we're all being oppressed and whatever. But at the same time, they are doing the very thing that they are saying they've been oppressed by, where they're actually kind of going, no, join into our little cult now, everything will be better.
He even says,
we've got
and he even says it actually, because those two people that we see him attack first, that couple, and the three of them show up to the door. You see a clan outfit in their house, and so, but he's disgusted about that himself. You can tell even when he says that, he's like he's like, maybe you don't want to come in here into this juke joint because it's all white, it's all black folk. And he's like, no, I don't want to do with them. He actually tells them, the guy who sold you this, he acted like he was just a straight up dude, when really he's planning to come here tomorrow morning and, kill anybody who's here. Like, he actually gives the game away straight as they tell them, like, I'm not part of these fucking, they're my enemy as much as anybody else is. And
if you join me, it'll be better. Like, there's a better way, we'll take over.
I get it. But it's almost like they really believe that too, don't they? I mean, it is each one of them, when they join, they straight away are like, they feel that this is the right thing. Go me good. It is not just evil. I'll now get to control everybody. Each one of them that becomes the vampire and is in it and gets this, they all feel like they belong. Like it's the right thing to get you to die and come over to this side. It's really the right thing for them, not just mindless aggression or anything, or growing our numbers. They're almost doing you a favor by biting you and killing you and letting you join them. And it's mad to see vampires with so much joy, blood poured out of their mouths. Yeah. Like, it's.
Yeah, and it's the fact that, like, even that moment where Haley goes over and she's just, she knows something is up, when the three of them are just singing there, and she's kind of going, oh, this is beautiful, but he starts kind of drooling or something, and she kind of gets up and just starts to walk away, and you just see him in the background. I love the way he just stands up behind her as she's walking away, and it's like one second of a jump where he starts to levitate up and they just cut away.
Yeah,
it's not like you don't get that, like what every other movie would showcase. Oh, I'm jumping up and landing on her and all this kind of fucking crazy shit. You just see him just launch for half a second. It's like, oh, fuck yeah. It's unbelievable.
And actually, just on that, in the dark, because the way their eyes, they don't glow red like a la Teen Wolf or anything. It's just that little glint. Yeah. That little red glint that he has in his eyes, and the rest are going to have this just silvery kind of glint in theirs.
Yeah, it's like there's a light off screen. It's just captured.
It's so,
it's like, what is that?
So subtle, but can be so sinister, as well. And the vampire teeth as well. They look fucking awesome, because they're like, it's almost like an animal, because their canines on the bottom are big as well. It's it's just so good.
It's just so good. But that musical scene, right? We've talked about it a lot, but there is. Yeah. It's just, we've heard him sing in the car, which is a fucking gorgeous scene. It's just beautiful. And you say Michael B.Jordan, it seems like he's singing that at that moment. It's just such a wonderful scene. But when he starts singing in the juke joint, and we get our kind of showpiece scene midway through the movie, and he's singing, he's obviously wanting to impress that girl who came, and it's just, it starts off, even before it gets crazy, it's just kind of like, oh, fucking, this is just, as you say, his voice is just mesmeric. Just going, oh my God, this guy could listen to you for fucking eons. And then as he's singing, then you start to hear a bit of a beat come in. What the fuck is that? And then when they show an electric guitar beside him, you're just like going, whoa, where are you going with this? Like, and then the beat comes in more, and then it's just like, and the camera's there, and it's all a one-er shot. With hidden cuts or whatever, but it's just like moving around, these fucking DJs, and then goes back to ancient tribal guys on bongos, like going, oh, fucking hell, I don't know what you're doing, but this is amazing.
That's it, the guys are, because it cuts in, and it's just showing the evolution as well of the blues, like, because he talks about how it melds the future and the past and everything together, and you see it, you've got him, he's banging the blues out of what they were in the 30s, and then we get to see what it becomes as it goes into the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and there's with the rapping and with the DJing, but then also, as you say, it swings backwards to the roots of what it was before the 30s. How far? Yeah, and it's incredibly done, and that like the fact that they're jumping in and out of it, because he's banging away on the guitar, but they bring in the electric guitar as well, and then you can hear a bit of the scratching, you can hear beatboxing and stuff going over it and rapping.
And that track is on. I was listening to that on YouTube. Just no visuals and just earphones and you listen, it's like 4.5, 5 minute track. And fuck me, like that is an absolute banger. Visuals or no visuals, obviously watching it is a sensational movie experience, but listen to it is just, it's fucking amazing. Go to sleep to that tonight. Listen, it's going to repeat for about 40 fucking times, but it's just amazing. And I loved that aspect of it that I just didn't see coming. The musical aspect that was so beautiful and such a bold and brave choice to put it in. And Coogler had to kind of go looking at it, going, I thought this was work, and I knew it was going to work. And when he saw it, probably in the edit room, going, "Fucking, this is great, right?" And looking around, yeah, and everyone in the room going, "Fucking, you're doing something amazing here." But the fact that, like at the start, even the start of the movie, when Sammy's, father who's a pastor, and he's kind of saying to him, just like music is, it's not that it's the work of the devil, but it's just like it'll just draws fucking attention to you and stuff like that. And then when you hear the vampire saying like, "We came here for you because of your fucking music," or whatever, and you're drawn to that, and it's just that's another aspect where you're just going, I'd love to like open up that and go into like that aspect of the vampire lore. I think is fascinating, and I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, that whole premise of certain generations or certain, as you said, cultures at the start of the movie, when they say the Irish, the Philly with the Irish and whatever, all have their different, they all have certain people who's have this connection to music that can open up that veil between, the good and the bad, and, and the connection between the history. I love that as well, Daz, that he can see it, because when you look at what he can see, when they're all inside dancing in the bar and everything the rest of it, when he looks at it, it's just the whole place burned down. It's a bunch of people dancing basically just with fire all around them, because he's just seeing right through into the heart of what's happening in there. And then it's so cool. Like they could have done something else. They could have just had him, glowing like fucking infrared through the building style, something like where he's a beacon. But no, just the visual of what he sees, the whole fucking place in flames and burnt down. And it's so good. Like I think I would like, I suppose just to skip ahead a little bit, my negative is exactly what you were saying, Des. I like the end of it in our mid-credit scene, if we could talk about that. So because we kind of, obviously the vampire fight happens, and some people die, but that if when we get on to the mid-credit scene, I do wish that was part of the movie. I don't know why that had to be kept separate from it.
Because it's a very important, well, not important, but it gives so much extra context to the greater story, that like they've come back to listen to one more tune or whatever, and it's just music still plays a point, and they still kind of hug it out, and it's.
But it has one of my best. But I think it has probably one of my favorite bits of dialogue in the whole movie, which is why it's a bummer that it's in mid credits, like because they're having the conversation, and he's like, "Well, right up until that happened, right up until the night, that was the best day of my life." And Michael Jordan's like, "You know what? Yeah, and it was the last day that I was with my brother, and the last day that I felt free. For a whole day,
I saw a sunrise.
Yeah, and the last time I saw a sunrise, and the last day that we were all free. And it's a wonderful thing. And the guy, and it's Buddy Guy is playing is playing him in the future, who's wild. Like he's one of the best guitarists of all time. Yeah, even in real life, like he's 88 in real life, still tours. Plays live most nights of the week. Like he's he's awesome. And it was a great choice to have him as the older version of Miles. But I just wish that had just been actually part of the movie somehow, because then maybe it wouldn't have felt, because you're saying the second part, the whole end of it getting into full vampire time and the whole fight that happens there is awesome, and all the rest of it.
100% there is a first cut of this is 2 hours 50, 3 hours or something like that, because when it gets to it, and I'm happy in terms that they didn't cut anything out of the non-vampire stuff to make more, or to beef up the vampire section, because it's probably like a third of the movie, or maybe 40% of it. But it kind of happens, and it's like bang, 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 and then it's just like fucking hell, and it's over. It does, like, it has one of those things, those movie things where somebody sneaks up on somebody and nobody saw him and kills them, and you're like, come on, like, but I don't really care about that too much. But it's Grace's decision to invite them all in, when I'm just like, there's a couple of scenes missing there. There's something cut there.
But when that's why I was saying when she's a fucking badass.
She knows, and it's just she's a badass. And she's like, "Come on in, then, let's fucking go." And you're going, "But you all died." It's just like, what the fuck?
I assume she doesn't care. She knows they're talking about going back to get her daughter, who's still in town, and all the rest of it. But she's straight away. She's making fucking Molotov cocktails ready to go, and she's fucking killing the vampire while she gets fucking set on fire herself, and she's still screaming while she's on fire. It's like, God, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah. But I guess like again, when you talk about negatives, I mean, that's not really a negative in terms of even that it happens so fast.
No, it's just something I would have preferred. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, even that it happens, everything kind of, not that it ends so quickly, but the skirmish and the battle or whatever is so fleeting. But I guess it would be when there's just like fucking 6 people against a horde of vampires. You take out as many as you can, and everyone kind of has an idea that they're not going to make it out of this. Yeah, but it was just a little bit. It's just when it got to that, there was enough about that vampire section that was fresh enough visually, like you're saying, fucking someone killing a vampire while burning
and so
alive.
It has to be someone
that's fucking cool. Like,
it has to be someone alive that invites you in. Is that it doesn't have to be the person that owns the place, because we get it. There's Smoke and Stack are named the 2 brothers, and when Stack, it's Stack, isn't it? That gets he gets bitten and killed by Hades. And because he runs and bursts out of the place, whereas I suppose if the rules were once you're in, you can invite everybody else in, he would have just would have fucking called all his mates in. But he has the urge to go out.
That again was very well done and very believable. It's like dialogue wise, where people even that were part of, like the guy who was the doorman and goes off and gets killed, and he comes back and he tries to get in. It's very believable dialogue that he's trying to get around the fact that he needs to be invited in. He's like, come on,
and luckily Annie
let me in. Just
Annie's like a voodoo. She's like a voodoo fucking whatever priestess, or the word you use is, and it's great the way she says to like, how come you can't come in by yourself? How come you need one of us to invite you in? And then it's just kind of dawned down on fucking Smoke's face as well. It's like, hang on a second, and then he reaches out to give him a smoke or something. He reaches out his hand.
I try to bite the fucking hand off. Yeah.
And next thing, he just fucking the teeth to the eyes and everything. It's cool. But it's it's that the whole escalation thing is great. But I think it's that warning that he gives him as well, because we have the big huge fight. Stack gets killed, comes back as a vampire, but then we don't know who survived out of it, because when they kill Jack O'Connell's character, which is it Merrick? What's his name in it? Or what's his name in it? When his death scene is fucking awesome. Like that's the whole practical, because he smacks him in the head with a guitar, and it's an old timey guitar with a big fucking silver plate on it, and it gets him. So he has it embedded in his head, and then of course it's sizzling and smoking and burning his head, and Jack O'Connell says that wasn't VFX, that was practical effects. They had fucking a rig and had all the fucking smoke and everything coming off him. That is just absolutely badass. And they pull it out, and you can just see the fucking half his face is gone, and the sharp teeth, and and he ends up
that's the thing with, like, in terms of gore. Like, there's some gory elements and lots of blood squirting and stuff like that. But it's that thing where somebody gets sliced or cut, or when the doorman guy gets bitten by a vampire, and when he comes, or he gets shot and comes back, and it's not that kind of fucking gross, but it's just like, Jesus, that looks very real. That someone, it's just a gash or something in their face or whatever it is. It just looks fucking brilliant, and all the blood squirting from it looks.
Stacks one and his neck looks super real, because obviously he's getting plenty of close-ups. I mean, he's just standing there talking, and he has his top button. He's got his vampire teeth now, and you can just see it looks like a big hole in his neck that isn't bothering him at all. It just looks fucking awesome. It's obviously, we said, I mean, I think that might be my only gripe, really. I think is that I would have liked that, because that was such. I love those lines, that finishing lines of what it was, and they seem like they seem like so different as well, because obviously we're cutting into the future, and Haley Steinfeld and Stack are still alive, and they're different. They're not like they wanted to kill everyone. That's one of the lines Haley says in the trailer. We're going to kill every one of you and stuff. They're not like that. They obviously haven't. Once maybe he's gone out of their head. Maybe once he was Jack O'Connell.
They've evolved into
they've evolved.
Vampires,
and they're wearing like proper 90s get up, because that's the flash forward. That's the 90s, not present day. He looks like he looks like fucking. Yeah, he looks like a fucking Fresh Prince or something. Like it's gas.
Yeah. So you were saying there's a post-credit scene then as well?
Yeah, but it's kind of a hopeful kind of when it finishes on, and it's a flashback to the start of the day, and it's just Miles in the church on his own with the guitar, and he's just tapping his toe, and then he starts playing This Little Light of Mine, and he's just put it in his gorgeous little voice, and I guess it's just what hope he had going into the day, because like you said, it's almost like the juke joint and all that kind of is very a secular kind of way. It's not staying, God, keep music, but keep it this way. That's the way his dad wanted it. And you can see now that it's to have him in the church and show, no, he wanted his music to be something for good. He never meant it to be what it ended up being, which is him towards the end of the movie holding this, what was left of the guitar and him covered in blood and stuff. But yeah, no, it's a lovely little scene just to finish on.
That should have been the mid-credit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that could have been it just to finish on, because then, okay, if you miss it, you miss it, but it's not the end of the world. It's a cool little scene you can look at later. It doesn't take away from not seeing it. But yeah, it was good. It was also good to see all the clan members get the shit blown out of them. Because he's again, it's because he's warned them. America said to him, he's already told them these guys are planning to come in the morning and get you. And so he already have plenty of fucking stuff there because they were both in the war, and he has a trap basically set up for them, and all them racists arrive and get their fucking asses handed to them, and it's awesome.
And the juxtaposition with that fucking chaotic murderous scene, and then him sitting down, he takes one to the gut, and he's sitting down, and then kind of sees his dead partner and
Annie,
daughter,
his baby,
and gets handed to his baby, and you're just like, oh Jesus Christ, and that's Dad. I kind of wept a little bit. A little bit. That's just ticks all the boxes. Like, really, yeah, we can only sum it up as just go and see it, and go and see it on the biggest fucking screen you can with the best speakers, because this is it's a wild ride, and as you said it perfectly, it's a very surprising movie. It's not, depending what side you are, like, it's not what the trailer suggests. There's far more to it. It's deeper. I think it's so much more in terms of lore and music.
Yeah, because I think they even used that part towards the end of Michael B.Jordan, because you don't know at this point who's, is he both, they're both brothers alive, or what the crack is. There's him with the big rifle, there's him with the Tommy gun blowing stuff, and that looks like, okay, is he fighting? Are they fighting vampires? That's from the trailer. You're wondering, is that what that is?
Scene in the movie.
But no, it's the very end. Yeah, it's pretty much the very end of the movie. It's just that's where all that gun action comes in. Before that, there's just a few pistols, but that's about it. But yeah, masterful performances, incredible fucking cinematography. You did so well, Daz, to keep this down to the time that you did, because
we could talk.
I think I'll be talking all day about it, man. 2 hours and 20 minutes of just pure joy. Well done, man. Well done. Well, look, yeah, for those of you, we'll just reiterate the scores. Both of us gave it a 4.5. 100% recommend it. So look, we look forward to seeing you all again the next one. I think we've got some decent movies coming up over the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll be having another good one next week. So until then, happy Easter, and enjoy all those chocolate eggs and all that shit, and we will see you all next week. Take it easy.
See you later.
And we'll all go together to a wild mountain time, all around the blue river. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go?